Hey everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast. Welcome to my channel. This is episode 278. I have a cat in my lap, so if you see me like messing around, I also have notes. I have all kinds of stuff around me because I really have a lot to show. My last episode was before Labor Day, and that was the beginning of September, and it's now September 21st. So we're gonna all cheers, have a Guinness. I'm having a Guinness. You don't have to have a Guinness. Coffee, tea, water, whatever sparks your fancy. Diet Coke, regular Coke, whatever. I prefer canned Coke. That is my most favorite soda. But this is not a video about things that I like. It is because I like knitting and crocheting and all the things that are yarny. And I'm going to talk a lot about books and different making too. So hold tight and, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for coming back. If this is a new episode for you, welcome to my channel. Again, I'm Aquila. This is a podcast mostly about knitting and making and crocheting. I love anything to do with yarn. I have a sock machine. I'm going to be showing you that. But yeah, so from Baltimore, Maryland, kids, cats, husband, all the things that can interrupt me. But hopefully, crossing fingers, I only have a husband here right now, and he's outside grilling. So he's in his happy place, and I'm in mine. So cheers to that. Let's get this started. We had to get new Guinness glasses because we both broke both of ours. Mine was on the drying mat, and I totally knocked it off. John was grilling, and he knocked it off the grill. So we had to get new ones. I have a cat in my lap if anybody's interested. This is Luna Tuna. Hello. She's our three-legged kitty cat, and we love her very, very much. Okay, let's get into the making. So if you've been a long-time viewer, you know I am working on a sweater. Oh gosh, now I can't think of the name of it. It's beautiful color work, and I can't think. Oh my gosh. Either way, I have not really worked on that. I've maybe put a few rows, but I have, ta-da! I have worked on some socks. So first, let me show you one of the pairs that I've been working on for a long time. This came as a kit from last year. It was a Halloween kit, and it was a collaboration between Fangirl Fibers and Lindsay, and I can't think of her name. Sock Witchery is her podcast, and she designed the pattern. It was a Beetlejuice-inspired kit, I should say. It came with some charms. This one says, I myself am strange and unusual, and there's two others that came with it, but I have this finished. Now, I'm going to show you guys one more time because all the ends were woven in, and I don't have the toe Kitchener. But I am like so close to being done. So it came with four yarns, I apologize. It came with 4 different yarns. It came with these yarns, and it came with a pattern, and the pattern was the Sandworm spiral socks. And I will show you the first one. And I don't have the ends woven. Cat, you're going to go. It's not going to happen. She's going to be interrupter today. This is the first one. And it has this glorious pattern. Look at all these ends. It has this glorious pattern that kind of spirals down the sock. And I used I alternated the colors. So on the second one, the toe, I'll hold it up that way. The toes and the heels alternated, and so you can see where I switch colors. I technically only need to Kitchener this shut and weave in all these ends. So I will show these again once I do that. This cat is wanting to play with all the ends of all the things right now. But, all right, let's insert video now. Day. I took my machine outside. We had a very impromptu get together, cooked out a little, just hung out with friends, family, and I showed you my Simple Stripes sweater. I actually wore it the other day. It was cool enough here that I wore it. This is the yarn that matches my sweater other than the heels in this. And I had cranked these. I showed you guys these. These are mine and they have Lycra in them. Well, John said, well, I want a pair to match. And I had plenty of yarn. I had plenty of yarn to make that happen. And so John now has a pair. So these are mine. These are John's. I did his heels different. I used the yarns only from the sweater. So his went straight from the last stripe into the heel. And there are two here in case you were wondering. His, I did not use Lycra, and they're much longer. So I don't know if you can tell. I'll hold these together and not talk so I'm not blocking my voice. But I don't know if you can tell that this has the Lycra in it or not. You can kind of see the Lycra in the darker colors because I used a white Lycra. So I cranked these. And then I decided I was going to also crank another pair. Oh God, I forgot I have other acquisitions that are sitting right there. They're not really that important. It's just more Patons Croix and some cakes from Michael's that really weren't on a discounted price at all. I bought some cakes, some Caron cakes, because I love making baby blankets. And so those are going to turn into like the star baby blanket because that's my favorite thing to make. I have a bunch on my Ravelry page, so if you're interested, I'll have all the links down below for Ravelry and things like that, and you can see those. So let's go back to sock knitting. So I cranked those, and then I have a lot of knit-worthy friends and family for socks anyway. I really do. And because I have this sock machine that I can crank a pair of socks in like an hour, not including like Kitchenering and stuff, but I can crank out some socks, y'all. And I love, it's an Erlbacher Gearhart Speedster. I love my machine very, very much. This was the second pair that I cranked on Labor Day. So I cranked these. Oh, that's not the foot of the blocker. I cranked these. These are now, let me get my notes out because this is pair 36 of the year for 2025. This is pair 36, and these are a shorty pair for my friend. I love these. I think they're beautiful. The first time I tried cranking them outside, though, the foot was way too long. I ended up ripping it out, and everybody looked at me like, you're just going to rip that out? And I was like, yes, I am. Because you saw how long it took me to make it, and I can remake it in less time than to try to, like, fix the toe. So I just recranked the whole sock. Those are very, very fun. I also have two more pairs that I cranked on my machine, and I don't have pictures of them. I have notes here because I keep a notebook of all the socks that I crank with all my notes. I don't have to do that, but I feel it has really helped me in keeping like what size people wear, like the tension I used for certain bases. So I cranked two more pairs of socks, and I don't have them to show because they were birthday presents and they were already gifted. So this is pair 37 that I cranked. This is also a Patons Croix. This is the Midnight Orchid colorway, which I have found this, it was on clearance. I found a bunch of it on clearance before Joann's closed, and this is it. This is the Midnight Orchid color, and it's the Patons Croix sock, and I have a bunch more of these, so I get to have a pair for myself eventually, but I cranked those, and then I also cranked another pair out of some leftover Patons Croix that I had already on cones because I wanted to clear out some cones. So this is pair number 38 of 2025. And this is also in a women's 10. That's what this pair and the previous pair were for, women's 10. This was the brown, blue, gray, marl. I don't remember the exact name of the patterns, but that is another pair I cranked for my friend for her birthday present. So we have now talked about all my cranking and the Sandworm spiral. So also I have not cranked. This is not cranked. I apologize. I have finished, except weaving in my ends. I should put these in blockers because I can actually put these on blockers. Oh, they're both turned inside out. Pause. You know what I didn't show you? The Sandworm spiral socks, I did have a marker showing where I was the last time, and I didn't show you guys that. So where I was the last time when you guys saw these, I mean, I really was at the beginning. I had done a cuff and 3 repeats, so I was here. This was one of the other markers from the kit. So I did all of the rest of the leg, I did the heel, and then I had done the foot. So I really made a lot of progress on these. I was in the groove. I wanted them done. October's coming, and they will be done for October. So I'm very excited that I will have those done. So I apologize that I had to circle back to that, but I didn't show you the marker because I just thought about it as I was going to show you. These have a lot of ends, and I'm just going to show you. So here they both are, because it's easier just to show you both really quick. This is the Crystal Pie. This is Fibernymphdyeworks. Let me get that sticker label out. I have a cat in my lap and she's being ridiculous. So this is what's left. This is her pie colorway, meaning it follows the numerical number pi 3.14, whatever that follows. And it's Fibernymphdyeworks, and it's Lisa, and I love her. And she does all different colors in her pie sequence, and she does a lot of self-striping. So not all the pie sequence, it's other stuff too. So Fibernymphdyeworks, and this, like I said, is on her bounce base. It's 80/20, 400 yards, and it's the Crystal Pie Dark. So it was the dark crystal, not the movie, but the crystals that are darker colors, and then she had one that was lighter colors. I think they're both available on her website, actually. So let me show you. I did not have heels in either of these when I showed you the last time. The last time I was making the cuff, the leg, the foot, no heel, with a toe, and I had tubes. So the last time you guys actually saw this one back here was completely done except for the heel wasn't cut in, and I do a cut in heel. I do a traditional afterthought cut in heel. So I find where I want to cut it. I cut my yarn across 32 stitches because these are on 64, and I open up the tube so I have 32 stitches exposed, excuse me, and I make the heel. So this one, I was only here when you guys last saw it, so I knit all of the rest of the tube and the foot, and then I put the heel in on that too. So technically these are really done, but I just don't have the ends woven in. But I kept my markers in because I wanted to show you. I wasn't here. Oh no, that's my marker for showing the front and back when I'm doing the heel, when I do it on Magic Loop. So I love these. They will never match. So if you want matchy socks, these are never gonna match because the stripe sequence follows that number. So this is the 3, 1, 4, 1, whatever it is, because this is the first one. I believe that's the first one. Now I'm not sure. Either way, they're pretty. I love them. Lisa does an amazing job. Her colorways are always super good. And for my heels, all I did was cut it in and pulled from the ball afterwards. I was going to use a whole separate color that I had that was a gray that matched, but I just used it because it gives you almost that bullseye effect. Not quite with these because the chunk was really big on both of them, but I love them. I love them so much. So that is really most of my knitting. I have one more thing that I'm going to show you that's knitting, and yeah, I should probably do that before I jump into anything else, because the rest is sewing and then books, lots of books. So I received some yarn from Frogget Yarns to make some samples for their yarn truck, trailer, whatever you want to call it. They have a trailer that they pull behind their truck, and they have that all set up. It's beautiful. They just got a new one this year, and if you haven't seen them, I just posted a video actually. But I have yarn from them to make samples. So I have the DK weight. This yarn is not going to premiere until Indie Untangled, so you can't get it. I'm not even sure, Tasha, you'd have to correct me. Is it only an Indie Untangled colorway, or you're going to have it after? But I know it's definitely premiering at Indie Untangled, which is one of the pre-shows before New York Sheep and Wool Festival or Rhinebeck. So it's going to be there. So it's going to be not debuted until then. This is the DK weight, and I'm making a hat for their trailer as a sample, and this is the main color caked up, and it's called Cozy Bookshop. I have the label. Hold on, pause. I have labels somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Cozy Bookshop. And it is the and it's exclusive color, so it could be only exclusive. Tasha, please correct me. Okay, so there it is. But that is their DK weight makeup. And so it came with 2 minis. And here are the minis. I decided to do a photographer hat because I love that hat. It really shows off the yarn. There's not a lot of special stitches. There's no lace. There's no ribbing other than the bottom of the hat. So I used one of the minis like as 3 rounds for the bottom of the hat, and now I'm working in the main color right now. So that is on US 4s and a 1x1 rib. Once you get to, it's a Lavanya Patricella pattern. Once you get to so many inches, you switch to stockinette on a US 6, and I will do that eventually once I get so many inches done here. I also have it to show you guys in, oh, crinkly. Hold on. Let me get this. That was very crinkly, and I didn't want to like be very super noisy. God, I cannot speak. It's been a weekend. Our kid wasn't here. We tried to go to a concert last night. It didn't work out. Like the tickets didn't ever show up on our app that we use, so we had to ask for a refund. It was like such a pain in the butt. We were really excited to be able to like get out and do something without the child. But so is life. Okay, Cozy Bookshop. This is the Super Sock set, which is the 75/25. And then you can see this is the main color with both of the minis. And I have this to make a pair of socks on my machine. So I'm going to be cranking a pair of socks for them for their sample in their truck. And this color is like beautiful. I love it so very much. And I'm very grateful to let them send, like, I am grateful to be like, here, give me your yarn and I'll make you samples. You know, I know people do that all the time, but I am really happy to be able to do that because it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And I just think these colors, like you saw on the hat, it's working up beautifully. So there we are. Let's insert another video right here because I have some other things that aren't knitting to show you, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So if I don't sew very often. My sewing machine is from Walmart. It is a Singer. It's not the greatest machine in the world, but it does some basic things. And I've made a bowl before. Oh, I have it right here. It has lots of stuff in it. So it has all different stuff in it. But this is all my Halloween fabrics that I had. I had made some Halloween bags for my knitting group one year, and this was all extras from that. So it's a coil bowl, and you wrap fabric around a center, like a core. You would call it a core. Okay. So I know I have shown, laundry's done. I know I've shown core baskets where you use yarn and you wrap the yarn. So this is like the same kind of process, except for you are using, so this is clothesline that I bought, and it is a cotton clothesline, and you take fabric and you take tiny strips of fabric. I think I was cutting them a 1/2 inch to 1 inch wide. It doesn't have to be perfect. Definitely, well, excuse me, it was not perfect because I was just using fabric scissors to cut strips of fabric. And so I made 2 more bowls. Now, I cannot just get, I donate lots of clothing to places when Hazel grows out of it, or I just don't wear it anymore. But then there's some stuff, like I bought a mystery package from this girl who does ice dyeing on clothing, and these are a shirt style that I would not wear. Okay? Here it is, just for your reference. The other one looked just like this, and I was not going to wear it. And I was fine with the fact that I got other shirts in this mystery package that I absolutely loved. I just didn't love this style. I tried giving it away to people. Nobody was interested. So it's been sitting in a bin, in my fabric bin, which is not very big. I have a very small fabric stash. And so I cut this up. Not this one, obviously. I cut up a different one. It was a different set of colors. And I cut it into strips. And I made 2 bowls. I made a round one. This one is more round. You can see, maybe, I don't know how well. And you just use a zigzag stitch, and to start it is the hardest part. Like this center part is the hardest part to me. But once you get going and moving, you do not need a super fancy machine. If you can do a zigzag stitch, you can do this. There's probably videos. I don't know. I could try to find a video, but if you Google fabric coil bowls, you will totally find videos on YouTube to make these. So you could cut up old sheets. You could use scraps of your fabric. If you are a person who has a fabric stash, you could totally do this. The second one I made, I tried to make it more oval. So I made it elongated before I started like going upwards to make it more like an oval. It's a little wonky, don't get me wrong, but I love it very much. And I don't know where these are going. I don't know where they're going to be homed to, but this one is also going to be made and it's going to get a home somewhere also. But these were so much fun to mess around with. And like I said, I could buy some handmade soaps, put that in here, make some dishcloths for people, and give it as a present for a holiday or birthday or whatever. So here are these, and I am very happy with them. And they were really easy to make because all you're doing is taking your fabric strip and you're wrapping it around the core of the clothesline, and you're butting that up next to the one you've already sewn and like sewing it together. Again, there's probably tons of videos out there. Not tons. There's probably many videos out there that show you this technique. But I wanted to show it because I was really happy with myself. So, yeah, this cat is still in my lap. She ain't leaving. She is not leaving. I'm surprised you can't hear her purring sometimes because she is a massive purr box. All right, so those are done. That was sewing. Now let's talk about the next thing. And I'm going to pause here and insert a video. I know I've inserted a lot of videos in this episode, but I was thinking about the podcast, obviously, when I was doing these things, so I thought it would be helpful to add to my video. So if you don't know, oh my god, Kat, you have to move. My legs are like falling asleep. Okay. If you aren't aware, I am a steward of a Little Free Library. If you don't know what Little Free Libraries are, they're all across, they just hit a certain mark of how many libraries are out there. They're across 7 continents. They're in all over the world. It's a library that you can take a book, leave a book. You don't have to leave a book. If you just want to take a book, you can just leave books if you don't want to take a book. It is a resource to be able to share books. And it's amazing. And I'm a steward, which means I am the owner and I maintain my little free library. It's in my front yard, which if you saw the video, I was redoing it. So it's been up for like 3 years. The paint job that I had on it was slowly deteriorating. It didn't look as good anymore. So I decided I wanted to fix it. So I'll insert pictures here. It's not done. I am not done by any means. The roof is plain. It's very boring. I just kind of painted all of it white for now. The front, I knew I had an idea of doing the checkerboard, and so I did do that. The side, Hazel painted one of the sides, and I just don't know what I want to paint. Originally, I had used my Cricut machine, and I cut out all these different shapes, and it had a book at the bottom, and it had stuff flying out of it, like fairies and castles and all different stuff that could be in books. And that was like, I really loved that. The other side that I did not sand, I just couldn't bear to do it. It was like a mile marker sign, and it said like to Narnia or to 100 Acre Wood, and it had like a mileage number, and I just couldn't get rid of it yet. It is deteriorating. The sun has definitely affected it, and I couldn't do it. One day it's gonna get sanded off and I'm gonna repaint it, but that day was not the day. So let's talk about books, because that's where we are pretty much. I finished Hannibal Rising by Thomas Harris. That is the 4th book in the Hannibal series, and it's technically a prequel to the other 3 books, and it talks about Hannibal's upbringing and him as a child and things that happened in his youth, which made him be the person he was in all the other Hannibal books. I enjoyed that one very much. The next book I had started and I just couldn't get into it, and I finally circled back to it. It was an audiobook. It was called Pretty Baby by Mary Kubeka. Her books are pretty popular. This book was really difficult in the sense that I just kept screaming at the main character like, WTF, lady? Like, seriously, what is going through your brain? But in the end, you kind of understand that she's going through some trauma, and that's why she is kind of acting probably the way she is. There's like a lot of twists in it. It ended up being okay. I gave it like a 3 out of 5. If you've watched my videos before, you know I really don't give many books lower than a 3. There are some that I have DNF'd or did not finish. If you don't know the book terms. And so, but I wouldn't rate them because I didn't finish them. So it was okay. I read the 44th book in the In Death series, which is J.D. Robb, and that was called Echoes in Death. I love those books. Those are my go-to reads if I don't know what I want next, and I listen to them on audio because they're pretty much all available in the app I use. I use an app called Everand, all one word, Ever and A-N-D. It used to be like with an apostrophe in it, but they changed the name. Either way, it's a subscription service, but it's unlimited. There's also not everything available, so be aware of that. But I don't like the setup of Audible where you get like credits. I don't like that. I want to listen to as much as I can, but not everything is available. Again, just to warn you. Okay. The next book I read, I got this from another little free library, and it's called Black Cake, and it was the first book ever by this woman, Charmaine Wilkerson. It is about family, heritage, family secrets, lots of family secrets, and it's about these siblings, a brother and sister, who find out their mom died. Well, they didn't find out. Their mom passed away and left them an audio recording as part of her will. And I really enjoyed that book. It is now in my little free library. Nobody has picked it up yet. I gave it 5 stars. I loved the whole story. There were some parts that I would love to know more, but they wrapped up a lot of stuff in that book, so I really enjoyed it. Let's see. The next book, No One Can Know. I think that one I gave it a 3. That one was by Kate Alice Marshall. That was also a family secrets kind of book with some twists, murder mystery type book. Not my favorite. It wasn't my favorite, but I'm pretty like, I give an average of 3 for most of the books that I read. Black Cake I gave a 5. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it highly. So let's talk about the last book I just finished. I finished it this morning. Today is Sunday, and I finished my new routine because I strictly was an audiobook girly, and I decided it would be nice to have, some sort of routine in my life. Also, my littlest, who is in elementary school still, her teacher is highly encouraging 20 minutes a day to read. So our 20 minutes is a family 20 minutes, and that's before bedtime. So screens get turned off at a certain time, and then we all sit down and read. Now, if she doesn't want to read, she's more than welcome to paint or draw or write or do something other creative, but screens are off. And so we have been reading as a family, but I've been reading in the morning with coffee. And that's where I was getting at. I've been reading in the morning with coffee. I ended up buying this book used off of Amazon, which I know is not the greatest, but I wanted to read this book, and it was not available in audio format for a very long time from my library, because I do use Libby, which is through my library subscription, my library card, but not everything is always available quickly, and I kind of wanted to read this one like now. So I ended up buying this, and this is The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I gave this one a 5-star also. I highly enjoyed this book. This was also I wouldn't call it horror, because it was more like a mystery, murder mystery, but it was also a lot of family trauma, family secrets, all wrapped into one, and I enjoyed this. This is going to end up going in the Little Free Library next. Because I did buy it used, I don't mind sharing the love, because that is the whole point of having a Little Free Library. I'm very excited because Banned Book Week is coming, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that, but it starts on October 5th. So banned as in BANNED, books that have been banned, not books like the Beatles. Not about bands. So, but I will be putting this in the library. If you haven't read it and you like books that are in that realm, I suggest this one. I don't know anything else about Riley Sager's books, but I liked this. So, then we went to Barnes & Noble. Now, because I'm now reading a lot more like physical books, I was like, maybe we can go to Barnes & Noble. And we did. So we went to Barnes & Noble, and I bought some books. John reads a lot of nonfiction books. He loves anything about the mafia, anything in that realm. So that is usually his go-to. So let me tell you real quick. Remember that crochet bag I made? We took a bunch of books from our Little Free Library that hadn't moved in a while, because I like to rotate them, and I'll take books from my library. There's one at the where we went to is like a big shopping center has one. There's also one at the nature center, and I like taking them there too, because if it's kids books, I really like putting some books in there. And so I took some books, but I took them in my bag, and it worked swimmingly. It worked great. So this is my crochet bag that I made. And all the books that I'm going to show you, plus 3 additional things, actually fit in this bag, and it was really great. Sorry. I know this has been a lot about books at the end, but that's not that I'm not knitting and not making, but I also have been reading a lot. So I wanted to read Jurassic Park because I haven't read it yet. So John bought me Jurassic Park. This Michael Crichton did 2 books. There's Jurassic Park, and then there's Jurassic World, maybe? Yeah, I think it's Jurassic World is the second one, but there's only 2. So I'm going to read this. It was not available at all through my library app as an audiobook. I could have gotten it probably as a physical book there, but I'm going to put it in my little free library, so I'm very excited to be able to share this. The other book that I got was The Mystery Guest. This is number 2 in the Nita Prose, I don't know what the series is called, but it's about a maid novel. Maybe that's like the series, because on Goodreads they call them like a series and they have a name for the series. This is the second one. I think there's also a third. The other one I have wanted to read, but I haven't gotten a chance to read it, so I picked this up, was Mr. Magic by Kirsten White. And this is in the horror section. I'm very excited for this. I love mysteries. I love horror. I don't like body horror. I don't like stuff like that, but I really do like some horror. So that was in the horror section. And then what was the other one? I got one more. This was at a recommendation. This is another one I purchased. This was recommended. My friend Jessica, or Biscuit, she had a podcast. She hasn't podcasted in a long time. She told me Karen Slaughter books, and I looked up Karen Slaughter. She has a bunch that are in series, but this was a standalone, so I got Pretty Girls, and I am very excited to read this. Because when my friends recommend a book, I'm very excited. John ended up getting true crime books. He got The Mafia Crew That Killed John Gotti, and this is all about Gotti's boys, so he's going to be reading this. And The Epic Hunt for the Criminal Mastermind Behind Silk Road, and it's called American Kingpin by Nick Bilton. It's the true story of the man who built $1 billion online drug empire from his bedroom. So I like true crime too, but he's been reading a lot of true crime lately, and he just was not feeling the book he had that we've been reading for family night. So I was like, oh God, I gotta pick something for Hayes, because she's been reading and she'd be very upset if we got books and she didn't get a book. So I don't know anything about these books, but this is Alistair Beckett King, and it's called Mystery at the Manor, and it is it's age 9 to 12, so it fits right in the perfect age range. Cat, oh my God, getting annoying. Okay. It has some drawings and stuff in it too. She really loves chapter books. She does love chapter books. She really loves graphic novels, but I thought this might fall into a good realm of a mystery book, because she hasn't really had a mystery book. So I wanted to get her a mystery book, because I love mystery books. Not to say she'll love it, but we'll see. Also, of course, because I haven't showed this in a long time, because it makes me really sad, and my dad was the biggest person who supported my Pez collection, and this was a new one this year for their Halloween collection, and it's a Dia de los Muertos pumpkin skull. It won't get opened. I collect Pez, if you don't know, but yeah, this was a new one for this year, so I had to get it. And this, all those books I just showed you, and this, and a record. Lola Young, John got a Lola Young record, and then we also got a kit for our friend. She wants to try Woobles. It's one of actually Hazel's little best friends, and she's been wanting to try this very desperately, so we bought her one, and so I'm very excited to give it to her. I know some people love those kits and some people don't, but she's been talking about it, and you know, when kids are interested in something, you want to like support that, so we supported it. So all that stuff fit in my market bag. I have talked a whole lot recently in this video, and I'm gonna end it here, and I hope you're doing things that make you happy. I know I showed a lot of books, even though I am still crafting. That's what's bringing me a lot of joy, and so that's what I've been doing. So I hope you're doing things that bring you joy. I hope you're checking on the people that might need a good check-in, because everybody's going through something. It is a tough world out there. Things are, in the US, in our politics, and just everything else is like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't have to say anything more than that. You all know. And yeah, so just be kind and be mindful, and you know, help others when you can, and I'm going to leave it at that. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, month, whatever it is, until I get back to you. And until then, peace, love, and happy crafting. Bye. The end of the video if I didn't dance with the cat. I would do a Hazel tip of the week from the chef, but she's not here, so you get a cat.